Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's morning briefing.
A Palestinian set fire to an Israeli greenhouse this weekend after infiltrating the border from Gaza. The incident occurred on Friday, after which the man was found unarmed and taken for interrogation immediately by Shin Bet security services. It was during interrogation that the suspect admitted to having set the fire. But the Kan public broadcaster reports that the suspect crossed into Israel various times in the past as well, and may have actually been seeking to get arrested. The army is investigating how the man managed to avoid IDF patrols and get so close to the Israeli community, though. In related news, the infiltration comes during continued protests along the Gaza border, in which 12,000 Gazans participated. Reports say Palestinians threw several explosive devices at IDF soldiers, and 2 other Gaza men tried to breach the border as well. The army responded with tear gas and riot dispersal means, and according to the Hamas-ruled Gaza Health Ministry, it's reported that at least 1 Palestinian was killed and 37 were wounded. But in the wake of the Gaza violence and arson, southern Israeli residents also again blocked cargo trucks en route to Gaza. Protests caused heavy traffic congestion in the area as activists blocked the Route 232 highway. $15 million in Qatari funding was paid out to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip this weekend in what Palestinian sources said was the first of many installments over the next 6 months. The total Qatari cash flow into the Strip is said to add up to an estimated $90 million, and the funds will supposedly go to civil servants whom the PA has stopped paying. Israeli officials hold firm that the Hamas terror organization which rules over the Strip will not take control of the money, but the influx of funds into the coastal enclave are just part of greater negotiations between Israel and Hamas as well. Egypt, the United Nations, Qatar, and several other nations have long been working to facilitate agreements between Israel and the Palestinians, and now it appears as though Qatar has come to save the day. According to Lebanese newspaper Al-Akhbar, the Arab Gulf nation and Israel have even reached a deal to establish a sea route between Gaza and Cyprus. It's unclear how the sea route would be operated, but any potential route would fall under international supervision, in addition to Israeli monitoring. Meanwhile, as his convoy was surveying the Gaza border protests on Friday, Qatar's ambassador to the Palestinians, Mohammed El Ahmadi's envoy, was pelted with stones. Gaza officials blame the incident on the PFLP, though, which aligns with Abbas's Fatah party against negotiations with Israel. And as for Palestinian Authority President Abbas, the Palestinian leader this weekend vowed to continue payments as well, but to terrorists and their families, not to civil servants. He also explained that it was, quote, a duty upon us all, end quote, to unite under the PLO and conduct a national struggle. Israeli police investigators announced Thursday that they believe there is sufficient evidence to indict 6 major suspects in Case 3000. The primary suspect is David Shimron, Prime Minister Netanyahu's longtime personal attorney and cousin, and the other 5 include top former and current government and military officials. Case 3000 investigations probed into alleged impropriety regarding the $2 billion purchase of 3 submarines and 4 patrol boats for the Israeli Navy from German shipbuilder ThyssenKrupp. The potential charges range from fraud, breach of trust, and money laundering, among others, explained that this case is one of the most serious in Israeli history, and it's borderline treason. Further, Barak said that, quote, ultimately, the Prime Minister's close circle is involved in this, end quote. Therefore, Netanyahu should apparently resign. Similarly, activists from the Zionist Union opposition party put up a submarine-like structure in Tel Aviv's Habima Square with a sign reading, quote, with Netanyahu, the country is sinking, end quote. Still, prime suspect David Shimron told Chadashot TV News on Thursday that Netanyahu didn't know a thing. He said, quote, I don't give the Prime Minister information about my customers, just as I don't ask him about various matters he deals with, end quote. State prosecutors with the Attorney General Avichai Mandelblitt's office are now reviewing the evidence and will decide whether to prosecute soon. As of now, it's been a century since the end of World War I, and Prime Minister Netanyahu is now gathering in Paris along with over 70 other world leaders to mark the centennial. Before departing, Netanyahu said, quote, we are going to a very important ceremony marking the centenary of the end of World War I. This was a bloody war that claimed millions of lives, and it was also of great importance to the history of our people, end quote. Netanyahu continued that hundreds of thousands of Jewish fighters were involved, and that the war marked a turning point for Jews to defend themselves, ended the Ottoman Empire that ruled our country, and paved the way for Zionism to flourish. Today, Netanyahu will attend a ceremony at the Arc de Triomphe as well as a luncheon with international leaders, and then tomorrow Netanyahu will meet with French President Emmanuel Macron. The Israeli premier had also hoped to meet with Russian President Putin on the sidelines of the event, but it's largely believed that Putin canceled the meeting in an apparent snub over IDF operations in Syria, and France discourages such talks anyway. Meanwhile, France will also hold a 3-day international peace forum that will end on Tuesday. The French ambassador said the forum is designed to highlight and discuss the importance of the global community at a time when people are questioning the efficacy and necessity of international institutions.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.